welcome to our devotional series, Messages from Tiny People. Tiny people who lived in a big world and achieved great things because a great God was in them. Today we are going to learn a lesson from a woman named Rachel, who is found in the book of Genesis chapter 35, verse 18. And I'm going to read in your hearing. And the Bible says, "And it came to pass as her soul was in departing, for she died, that she called his name Benoni, but his father called him Benjamin." And we find a situation where a woman named Rachel is giving birth and she's on the verge of death. She is calling her son Benoni, which means son of my sorrow, but the husband decides to call her son of my right hand or son of my strength. Now this woman, Rachel, had a history of being not content. She had a history of being not happy with her situation. She was married to Jacob with her sister. They were on the same husband, and Rachel was not favored. Her womb, the Bible says, was shut down, but the sister Leah had children. But then Rachel was more loved than Leah. And we see that Rachel was always complaining to the husband, because when the sister had the fourth child, she complained to the husband and blamed him on not being able to give her children. And she decides to give her maids to her husband so that they can bear children on her behalf. Still, after that, she still was not content and she still was not happy. Her life was miserable. Her life was tough. And then finally, God opens her womb and he blesses her with Joseph. And she still wanted more. And then when God gives her the child, the final child that she has, is she's travailing. She decides to call that child son of my sorrow. Now we meet a child being born. We have the father and the mother. One child, different perceptions. The mother is calling her the son of my sorrow. She is describing her sorrows and how she had struggled to have children. How this child was going to grow up, we do not know, because he was going to grow up with a history knowing how the mother had suffered to have him. But the father decides to call him son of my strength. He was encouraging himself. He was glorifying God, that God has given me a son that I will so dearly love. I want to introduce you on the subject on perception. We might have one object here, but one can take it as an object of distraction and another one as an object of creativity. You can be involved in an accident and you can choose to walk out grateful that you have been restored your life, that you are alive, or you can choose to walk out bitter that probably you have become crippled. One woman, two men. One man can look at a woman and decide to say she is an object of sex, and another one can look at the same woman and see a wife material, a mother to his children. The way we perceive things matters. Some people look at things negatively. The same things that we look at negatively, some people see positivity. When we see positivity in all situations, it is good for us because it helps us to progress. It helps us also to be happy and content. Right now we have challenges. We are in isolation in different places. We have situations because of the coronavirus. Other people take this lockdown as an opportunity to get to know their families, to have time with their families. Other people are wallowing in despair because they want to go out. The way you view things determines the way you will live. And so I want to talk to us this morning that it is important to view things in a positive manner, no matter how discouraging they are. Because when we train ourselves to look into things positively, we will live a happy life, we will live a content life, and we will be blessed. May the good Lord bless us as we change and shift our perception from negativity to positivity. God bless you.